Well, if it weren't for my old dogs and the good Lord, they'd have me strung up in the psych ward. 'Cause every day living in this new world is one too many days to me. Son, we're on the brink of the next world war, and I don't think nobody's praying no.
Hey YouTube, this is Uncle Momo's music reaction channel, where I provide my views from talented artists from around the world, both established artists and non-established artists. And I promise you that you won't be disappointed whatsoever. So why don't you come and join me in discovering amazing, talented artists and bringing it to the forefront of my channel for us to view. Now, my next reaction of today, we are going over to America and we are checking Oliver Anthony channel. Yes, I do know his name is Chris Anthony. And thank you very much for letting me know about the name of the guitar and the history of it. I believe it was the first kind of sound, like give it that electrical amplified sound without the electrical plug-in. A British, I've can't, it sounds German to be fair. But yeah, incidentally, thank you very much for letting me know what the name of the guitar is. Now, this is going to be my fourth or third reaction of what is Oliver Anthony, sorry. So I like this character. I like the way how he's got this realistic viewpoint. And that just comes from seeing a man that's been through the trials and tribulations of life. He has so much life experience. And I know that he's a recovering alcoholic and everything else, but he's recovering. I just don't like, he doesn't drink no more. It's not even alcoholic or recovery. He just doesn't drink no more. He's given up. And he's opened his dimensional body into a different angle or some sort. I don't know, because I don't know where his creativeness is coming from. And sometimes when you give up something that was so addictive, it opens up room for you to accept something else, which also can be a new addiction. It only takes about 14 days to be addicted to something and to come out of addiction as well. Or not come out of addiction, but set your pace onto the road of not wanting what you so long for. So I believe this is his new addiction, the Outback, the guitar, and right on, brother, man, because you're really going into it. And we appreciate you more than anything else as well. So, Oliver Anthony, mate, you deserve a round of applause and then some. You really do. Just before being you and open up yourself. But like I said before, you've got to go through some serious trials and tribulations to get on the other side, to become a messenger. You can't be a messenger without experiencing certain things, you know? And this guy's got life experience. He really has. I'm blabbing on way too much. This is I Want to Go Home. Just in the words itself, it can relate to so many people. So I can't wait to press the play button and see how much this relates to me, as well as figuring out how much it relates to so many other people. So, without further ado, you know what we're here for. Great vocabs and a damn good video audio music. Can you dig it?
Well, if it weren't for my old dogs and the good Lord, they'd have me strung up in the psych ward. 'Cause every day living in this new world is one too many days to me. Son, we're on the brink of the next world war, and I don't think nobody's praying no more. And I ain't saying I know it for sure. I'm just down on my knees begging the Lord and take me home.
I'm thinking, just by the previous reactions that I have carried out, it's somewhere on the borderline of a lonely man's perspective. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, a lonely man has a hell of a lot to think about because he has not got all the attributes as a family person. You know, the wife, the kids, and all that, and the stress of being that husband or the breadwinner or whatever you want to call it. I'm not being sexist here. But from a lonely man's perspective, you've got a lot to... sometimes you're on the outside looking in at the world. Or sometimes, because of a lonely man's perspective, you had everything and it just spit you out. You know, the country just spat you out and you're like, I hate you for that, you know? I'm a good person. And why are you treating good people like that? Why is it that it's the disgusting people that always prevail? I'm not saying it always does, but it seems from a lonely man's point of view or from a poor person's point of view, when they're saying, why is that person so rich? He doesn't deserve to be rich. There's a lot of people like that. You don't deserve to be rich. You don't deserve to win the lottery. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. The Lord works in mysterious ways. That's the only way that I can put it. Because we have no explanation. But, like I said, for me, Chris Anthony, aka Oliver Anthony, he's singing from a life experience perspective. Everything what he's saying, he's endured that life experience to make him speak like this and talk like this, to have these subject matters, which everybody can relate to. And I said this before, you know, even though he doesn't use complicated words, he uses those working man words. Words when we're just so tired, we can only spit out the 4-letter words or 5-letter words. Don't even go into a 6-letter word or anything like that. So it's very, like, I don't want to say this over and over again, but he has this very realistic value in terms of his subject matters. And when he's talking about the subject matters, everything's relatable for the working person. But it's only now that I'm looking at it that he's speaking, I mean, I don't want to, you know, put pigeonhole him into this situation, but it feels for me like a lonely man's perspective, which we can all agree on. You know, you've got to have time on your own and look around and have your own thoughts. And I feel that there's not enough time for people to do that, especially in the city. So when you come out to that city and you're surrounded by so much greenery, like 90 acres greenery, and you got your 3 dogs, and, you know, you can speak to your dogs and your dog's not going to, you know, have that conversation back, but just be an air to listen to. And you listen to the nature of that greenery and everything else. You get this chill, calm factor. And I know that, yes, he's a recovering alcoholic and all that stuff, but I don't feel that has anything to do with his character, who he is. It's just a stumbling block, which he's just managed to get himself out of. And identify himself that he's much better than that previous person who he was before. And he's beginning to see that. And I believe and I'm hoping that he likes his own skin now. Because he has so much to say and we are the ears to listen. We are certainly listening. So let's listen to some more, shall we? I'm going to go back just a little bit to about say here. I know many people will discuss the subject matters, what he's talking about. I like to look at the person who is talking about the subject matter. How did he get to that point? What has he had enough of? What is his main value?
Home. I wanna go home.
Like everybody else.
I don't know which road to go. It's been so long. I just know I didn't used to wake up feeling this way, cussing myself every damn day. There's always some kind of bill to pay. People just doing what the rich man say. I wanna go home.
Look at his dogs just chilling, man. It says the name of the guitar right there. Still sounds German.
Now 4 generations farming the ground. Grandson sells it to a man out of town. And 2 weeks later, the trees go down. Only got concrete growing around. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I don't know which road to go. It's been so long. I just know I didn't used to wake up feeling this way, cussing myself every damn day. People have really gone and lost their way. They all just do what the TV say. I wanna go home.
TV is a hypnotic object. That is what it's designed for, to hypnotize you.
If it weren't for my old dogs and the good Lord, they'd have me strung up in the psych ward.
So that was Oliver Anthony, aka Chris Anthony. Just at the end, it said, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? It's a swap balance, what he just said there. I said this before. Chris Anthony, Oliver Anthony's music channel, the subject matters is for everybody, but he's speaking from a lonely man's perspective. And that's not a bad thing. Sometimes you need to be alone to calculate what the hell is going on in this world. Sometimes you need to take yourself out of the circus to appreciate what the value of, to see the audience, what type of audience is going on to see the show. For me, when you have a person who's going through so much turmoil that wants to do something about it, that wants to. There's people that in that turmoil that don't want to do anything about it. They're so locked into this vicious circle. They feel that is the way of life, and they can't see anything else out from that. And they dig themselves even deeper. So it's really, really hard to get yourself out of that particular addiction of this is what it is, and I'm comfortable with it. Even though I don't agree with it, I'm still comfortable with it. But it seems to me that Oliver Anthony has got himself out of it. And because he's getting out of it, he's seen, like when the Matrix, when Neo and, what's her name? Trinity. When Neo and Trinity jumped into this plane or machine or whatever, and they went right up, out, and they broke through the clouds. And there was this magical split 2-second moment where they saw the sun, and sort of like there was in that mid-center of what is gravity and what isn't gravity before they come back down. Was that moment that I feel that's the only way that I can explain Mr. Anthony's position of getting out. He was going through all this turmoil, and there was this popping head out moment where he saw the sun, and it's like, oh wow. And now he's gone back down to deal with the demons of what's on his back. Because look, to go through all these trials and tribulations, you've got to have some serious demons on your back, and just to shake them off is commendable. It really is. The beginning parts regarding the reference to the dog and Churchill himself. Sometimes that's all you need from when you're living in the outback. Yourself, your dog, your animals, your creatures' comforts, and church. Your relentless relationship with the higher power. And it's very hard to get in contact with him when there's so much busy things going around you. So like I said, I love this Acres because it's inspired him to think deeper, to look at the world in a different kind of way. It hopefully slowed him down a hell of a lot more, less stress, but more issues to deal with. There are so many combinations of when somebody says, I'm just giving up. I just don't want to eat the city no more. He was talking about it previous about the concrete chopping down the trees and concrete in the floor. turning that into a concrete jungle. He's talking about there's people who you rely on, the farmers out back who plow those seeds, that make that seeds, plow and harvest that food and the livestock and everything else. They're not really getting a fair share looking after you guys. Because that's what they are. They're looking after you guys. And somehow they're reducing and burning crops and everything else and giving you these artificial foods for you to eat and not even telling you what they are. And it's like the farmers know, but anytime when they want to tell you about it, they got small voices. Time is changing. Time is really, really changing. It is. And it's the working people who wake up that crack of dawn in the morning to look after these city guys. And listen, you city guys maybe think, I'm a city person as well, so I know. But you feel that you're the guys that run the country. Well, if these hard-working people stop working, you see how wrong you are. Really, you will see how wrong you are. And I feel you need to turn around and look at the outskirts, on the people who are the heartbeats of the country, who does sustain you with your living qualities, does sustain you with the quality of food, no matter how much it's reducing now, and you guys are turning a blind eye to the artificial process of what is food and not having that quality food that's mashing you up anyway. But from a lonely man's perspective, he's seeing that. A lonely person's perspective, they're seeing all that. And when it comes to delivering that message over to you guys, it's kind of a hit or miss because you're in the thick of it. You need to come out of it to look in like he's done. He is trending. There is subject matters that he's hitting on the nail. But my fear is that it's going to go up and everybody's going to realize, oh, it's amazing, it's brilliant, it's lovely. And then it's going to dilute itself again, where nobody's not doing the objective. No one's not doing the physicalness, that is required on the base of what he's saying. He's going to bring up so many subject matters, and it's going to gather momentum for us to look upon ourselves and say, we must do something about it. But will anything be done about it other than listening to a great artist speaking about things that are closer to our heart and soul, where he's looking back thinking, y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it but listen to me? He does command and demand you listen to his words and feel it within your soul. But I believe he demands much more than that, the objective. And right back now, everybody's just looking but not doing. He is the preacher. Don't let him just carry on preaching. Make him feel valued. Do something, do an objective, do something that adds to what he is saying, rather than just watching and listening. It depends on you guys, It really does. Until next time, I salute you. Boom.
If it weren't for my old dogs and the good Lord, they'd have me strung up in the psych ward.